Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So I'll just forewarn you that I'm a little bit under the weather today. I don't know if I have a cold or allergies, but so I apologize if there's any sniffling going on, and I am kind of losing my voice, but I'll do my best. So what I want to share with you guys today is just a couple of very simple card ideas featuring the stack, cut, and shuffle technique, or the cut and shuffle technique, whatever you want to call it. So basically, we're going to cut up some designer paper today. And of course, it's brand new designer paper. So we're going to cut up some of the Country Woods Designer Series paper. So this is a new paper pack in the Stampin' Up annual catalog. And so we will create these three cards, and I'm going to be using the Country Birdhouse Bundle. So this is the bundle that I'm using to create these three cards, or just to add the little focal point to the cards. Now, this particular bundle also has a coordinating die set. So I like to keep my dies inside my stamp case so that I have my stamps and dies readily available. And I know a lot of you ask where I get my little magnetic sheets, but I get them off Amazon. So they fit perfectly inside the case, and they already got adhesive on it, so you just peel it off and stick it in the case. All right, so this is what we're going to focus on today. So I'll show you how I created these three cards using this cut and shuffle technique. So good morning, everybody. Excuse me. This can be a rough one because I'm losing my voice. So for this technique, basically what you're going to need are three pieces of designer paper. So you can use any pattern paper that you want. Like I mentioned, I'm using the Country Woods, just three different pieces of the Country Woods paper. And each of these pieces are cut at 4 by 5¼ inches. So basically we're just going to stack them all together, and then we're going to put them in our paper trimmer, and we're going to cut them all at the same time. So you can really cut these any way you want to. You just want to make sure that you cut them all at the same time. So for this particular technique, I'm just going to cut from this upper corner here, just down into the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. In other words, you don't have to measure from the top of the paper down to here. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. I just kind of put it in my paper trimmer, and then I just cut through both, well, actually all three, and then we'll just set that section aside. Then you're going to be left with these pieces, and then I just turn it and kind of eyeball it and cut right in the middle. And then I cut to this other corner down here. So I'm going to put that corner in there. And that's basically it. So you want to make two cuts so that you have three separate sections here. So this is what it would look like if we put it all back together. So now what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle these pieces. So I'm going to move these out of the way. So we're basically just going to separate them so that we have three layouts, and all the layouts are going to be it's going to be the identical layout, but the position of each of these pieces of paper, the patterns will be different. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So what you want to do is you want to shuffle them so that you have different patterns, three different patterns on each of these three sections. So you can see I have this panel pattern, then I have the white one here. Oops, actually, we got to put the white one there, and then we got to put this one here. So we got three different patterns so far, and now we're just going to take these other pieces and just add them in so that we have three different layouts. So does that make sense? So you want all three patterns on each of these three pieces here. So what I'm going to do now is set these aside, and we're going to add them to a card base. So I just cut three pieces of early espresso cardstock because I wanted kind of a bold background. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to adhere these pieces directly onto this card front. So you can adhere them a couple different ways. You can adhere them all together if you want. So they'll, because you cut all these pieces together, they will fit perfectly together. So you can adhere them as one, like I am here, or you can separate them just a little bit and leave a little bit of that early espresso cardstock showing through. And that is how I'm going to adhere mine. So either way would be fine. So let me go ahead and start this process here. So you're just going to add some glue and we'll hold on to these pieces. And like I said, you just want to adhere it so that there's a little bit of that early espresso showing through. And we'll add this one. So it kind of gives a nice matting without having to cut, all these individual pieces to create the matting. Just use the card base. All right, and then we'll add this one. All right, so that is our first one. So it gives a really fun design. And then I'll just go ahead and do these other ones just to kind of show you that it's a fairly quick process. You just have to line all the pieces up. I like to lay the pieces out so I kind of know where they go and so that I don't adhere them too close together. That'll go up towards the top. And then this one. So the nice thing about this technique is you can just make those two cuts like I showed you. You can really make them any way you want to on the card and or I'm sorry, on the designer paper. And as long as you're cutting those three pieces together, all your pieces are going to match up. So it doesn't really matter, where you make your first cut and your second cut, as long as you cut them all together. So every time I use this technique to make cards, they turn out just a little bit different because I'm not measuring, the placement of each of the cuts, if that makes sense. All right, so there is the second one. And then here's the last one. So I like this technique because, well, for a lot of reasons. You could create some really quick cards. And each of these three cards are going to look a little bit different because the placement of the paper, of the pattern of the paper is different. And I'll show you that when I get these all put together here. We'll put this on here. And if you use liquid glue, you can scoot these around a little bit to position them where you want them. So don't mind my voice, guys. Sorry about that. Like I said, I don't know if I have allergies or a cold. I don't feel sick, so I'm guessing it's allergies. Okay, so that is what each of the designs look like. So you can see that you have, like here's the white one up here in the corner. Here it's on this card, it's down on the bottom. And then on this one, it's off to the side. So it's the exact same pattern papers on each, but they're all in different positions. So it kind of gives, a really fun look. Okay, so I'm going to set these aside and I'm going to show you how I decorated these. So I'm going to just actually stamp all of these at once. So I cut some little circle shapes using the Stylish Shapes dies. And I'm just using early espresso ink. And the first thing I did is just stamped a greeting on the top part of the circles. So since we're making three cards, we're just gonna stamp this little greeting up on the top. And then I used the a bunch of different die cut shapes from that Country Birdhouse bundle. So I'm using the little bird that's in here. And then I cut out some little flowers. They have little flower shapes here and little leaves and things that you can cut out. So I use those dies to cut out a bunch of little pieces here. I'm going to bring all these over so you can see them. So the leaves were cut with granny apple green. So that's what the leaves are. And then I just cut the little flowers, the smaller flowers in there from petal pink. And then I stamped and cut out the bird. I'm going to show you how I colored the bird. You can really use any coloring tools that you want, but of course I'm going to go to my Stampin' Blends. So I'm just using the light Pool Party. And the first thing I did is I just kind of colored along here, along the belly, and just added some blue. Usually I would just stamp all my birds on one piece of cardstock and then color them all in, but for the purpose of this video, I already cut it out. So I don't usually color them already cut out, I guess is my point. Makes it a little more challenging, but we'll manage. So then I used some crumb cake just to color in the rest of the bird here. So this is the light crumb cake. So we'll just add this, color him in. Oop, I missed a spot. And then we use the dark crumb cake, and I'm just using instead of using the brush side, I'm just using the tip side. And we'll just kind of highlight these lines a little bit on the bird, just to draw out some of that. We'll just add a little bit, color that in. And then I just used, let's see, what is this? Daffodil Delight, just to do the little beak. So that's all I did for the bird. And I got a little darker. I got a little darker with some of the birds. This side I used the brush side. This side I used the fine tip, so you can see the difference between the two. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to pop these up on these little circle shapes. So you can create your focal points all at once. So we'll just pop this up towards the bottom. And then I got one more. All right. And then I'll just set these aside. So then what I did is I just put it right in the center of where these pieces meet. So you can just adhere the circle shape right to the center. Lay that straight. And then you just take these little leaves and you just kind of tuck them. I kind of tucked them around the bird. So kind of tucked one there. And then we'll add one of these over here. Let's see, we'll tuck that in like that, maybe. And then we'll put the flower right over the top of the feet. Kind of right in the center. And then I just took a little piece of linen thread. So let's get this over here. And I just made a little bow. You just tie it into a little bow, and then I just pull the ends down a little bit, straighten it out. And then we'll add this with a little glue dot. Where are my glue dots? Here they are. we'll add a little glue dot right here, and then we'll stick that right on there. Whoop, if I could get it off my finger. There we go. We'll poof it out a little bit and then just trim off the excess. So that's what I did to create my card. You can create any kind of focal point you want for your card. Um, and I'll show you, I'll add these other ones right away so you can see they go together pretty quickly. I have the other pieces already cut, so I'll just add this one. Oh, excuse me. This one. Must be that time of year for allergies. Ooh, or colds, summer allergies, whatever I got going on. Whatever I got going on, it can leave. That's what I think. And then we'll put this little flower there. And then we'll add our little glue dot off to the side. And then I got another bow already tied here. We'll just shorten this a little bit. We'll stick that on there and trim these down. So it's a pretty quick and simple little card. And I love the birds. The birds are just so pretty. I may not do the best job coloring the birds, but I think they're really pretty. All right, and here's the last one. Let's add that little guy right there. And then we'll put in our pieces. So, isn't that fun? I love this cut and shuffle technique. It's just a great way to use your pattern papers. And like I said, you can really add any kind of focal point. You don't have to use the birds here. You can um, use something else, put something else on here. Add that. All right, stick down. And then we'll add one more glue dot, and then we got our 3 little cards made here. Let's grab this little bow. So are you guys liking the Country Woods collection? I think that's probably my favorite collection. I mean, I haven't played with everything. I haven't played with hardly anything, but I love this collection. I think I like well, you know me, I like the rustic style, so all this distressed wood just is really cool. I just think it just looks really cool. All right, so those are the 3 cards. And then I just used some of these classic matte dots. I think they're retired, but they're kind of off-white. So I figured I'll just use them up and embellish my little flowers here with this off-white um, classic matte dot. So we'll put that in there. And then I'll show you what I did for the inside of the card. So let me move some of these over. So I just cut a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock, and then I just used up some scrap pieces of one of the patterns. So that's this pattern on here. So this is just 3/4 inches wide, and it's 5 1/4 inches long. And then I just decided to stamp a little bird on the bottom and then just color it in. So we'll color that little bird in quick, and then we'll add this to the inside of the card, and I'll show you how it looks. So it's kind of a fun little card to make. And now I have 3 cards made in, let's see, It's been about a little over 15 minutes. So not bad, right? All right, and then we'll add, this time I gotta color the feet, I guess. Probably could have colored them brown, but all right. So we'll just add this to the inside of the card, and then you have a really cute little decoration on the inside. And I tend to leave my cards blank. Sometimes I'll stamp something on the inside, but I tend to leave them blank so that I can write a personalized message on the inside of the card. So that's the outside, and then that's the inside. Pretty cute, right? And then I have all the rest of them already cut and colored and ready to go so that you guys didn't have to watch me color them all. So we'll add this to the inside of this one, and then we'll add the other one to the inside of this one. There. So there you go. Now you have 3 cards, which are all created the exact same way. They look different. The layout is identical, but the cards look different simply because of where the pattern paper is adhered on each of the 3 cards. So pretty cool, right? Now, I did post on Wednesday, I did share another cut and shuffle technique. This time I created my little, see, here's the triangular piece is kind of off to the right. So for these cards, I went off to the left with the triangular piece. But it's the same concept, except for this time I just used a different pattern paper and a different focal point or a different bundle. So you can, I did link to that video. Actually, I linked to my blog post, I believe, in the description with this video. So you can go check those out. They're out on my blog, and the instructions for those are out there as well. And then this month is, I'm also featuring the Country Birdhouse Bundle for my free tutorial. So I always put together a tutorial every month, and I give it away for free to anyone that places an order with me. It's just a little thank you gift. So I am featuring this bundle this month. So I have 6 different card ideas besides these. These aren't even in the tutorial. But I have 6 additional card ideas if you're looking for that. So you can find those out on my blog, on the front page of my blog as well. I did link to, I provided the host code and information in the description with this video as well. So you can get a sneak peek of those card ideas, I guess. I guess is my point. My brain's a little cloudy this morning with congestion. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed these card ideas and just a look at the Country Birdhouse Bundle and the Country Woods Designer Series paper. And I hope you just kind of play around with some pattern paper that you have on hand. It's a great way to use up your pattern paper and create some fun card layouts. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and a great week. And I will see you guys next week, right? Is next week Mother's Day? Oh boy, this month is going by fast. Well, if it is Mother's Day, then I'll probably come on a little bit early. I might come on Saturday if next weekend is Mother's Day weekend. I don't know off the top of my head. All right, so have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys again next week. So take care, everybody.